Right. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, in Tinterland, wherever it is that you are, wherever it is you are, we're being doing. It's cold. I know that much in England. Some people around the world are having different temperatures right now. But as always, it's lovely to see you. We're just trying to get Mike involved. His link's not doing too well. As you can see, he's swirling around. I don't think it's my internet. I think it could be his end. And yeah, lovely to see you all. To see you nice. Who's messaging me? Someone's messaging me anyway. So I don't feel particularly fabulous. Last couple of weeks have been very arduous. My missus has been quite not well, very chesty cough. And I've been doing all right, but ain't felt tickety boo. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Who we got here? No. It's my no. Yeah. So it would appear that my Champagne Charlie, gorgeous mate, old Mikey Poos, Captain Poop Deck, is having trouble. So, Mike, if you're watching the show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you out of the stream, drop it, and then try and get back in. Let me see. Kick him. I can't ban him from the studio. It's giving me options here. Kick from the studio. Ban from the studio. I can't ban Michael. Anyway, how we doing? All right.
Yes, Dave. How's you, mate?
Not so bad. Listen, first things first. Let's get the business out of the way. You got some dogs, darling, that you're trying to find good homes for, aren't you?
Yeah.
What we got?
Yeah, I've got they're South African Cross American Bully.
Lovely.
So South African Mastiff, which is Bauble, Cross Bully. So yeah.
How many you got left?
I've got 3 left.
3 left. So, ladies and gentlemen, at home, there's 3 dogs waiting for good homes. They're very, very well bred. They've had nothing but the best nutrition since they've come into the world, and everything they could ask and care for and want, they've got. So, our gorgeous other bald mate, Chrissy Morris, he's got one, and he's doing well.
Yeah. She's got one.
So, if anyone wants any of these dogs or are interested, they're in Essex somewhere on a secret location in Essex. And if you want any and you want to get hold of Mo, get hold of me and I'll put you in touch with him. How's about that? Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've got. It's one of them.
Hey, look, and everyone loves a dog. What'd you get if you spelled dog backwards, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, God. You know, don't you? Remove from the studio and go again. Michael, where are you, Michael? We're calling Michael. I love my Champagne Charlie. I haven't seen him for a few weeks either. So let me just message him on here, say pop back in. He's been sending me some funny text messages this week. I'll tell you what, if you've ever met Mike actually in the flesh, I won't say in the person because in the person's not real. We have to use the correct words. But if you ever met Mike in the flesh, I tell you, he's a lovable, huggable individual. He's such a darling. I tell you, he really is. And I love him. I love him dearly. Let's see if we can bring him in. Champagne Charlie. Where would we be without Champagne Mikey? We love him. But it's always for medicinal purposes. And we're going to be chatting about some bits and bobs this week, ladies and gentlemen, with regards to something that's happened in the court cases this week with regards to family courts. And we know what a bastard them cases are. And we've had a Metropolitan Police, what's that noise? Metropolitan Police Inspector who's killed himself because he would have had to have gone to trial with paedophiling stuff. And look, let's call it what it is. It's raping, isn't it? It's penetrative, it's raping, it's disgusting. Anyway, he took his own life, and I say good riddance. So we're always led to believe that we've got to respect the law and look up to these people, but they're very, very, very dirty. The dogs are barking. Yeah. But they're very dirty. You know, whenever we get a policeman turn up, they're all, we're so worthy. You know, you've got to respect us and bow down to us. But trust me, this inspector that's killed himself through paedophiling. Let me just mute you a sec, Mo, and put your finger up when you actually. No, you're all right. You're all right. The dog's all right. Yeah. So it won't be an isolated incident. That one policeman that's just killed himself. I'm trying to find his name. I found an Express clipping from him earlier, and it's a guy, Chief Inspector Richard Watkinson was discovered by colleagues who'd gone to his house because they was concerned about his welfare. Well, he's dead because he was paedophiling, and it's just odious on every level. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's
It couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke.
time to know in the room, and we're waiting for Champagne Mike to pop in. What you would call righteous men from wrong. We know, guys and girls at home, right? When you do something or you did something as a kid, if you've got a moral compass, you'd always have that uneasy feeling about it when you knew it was wrong, and you'd be looking around thinking, crikey, am I going to get away with this? That's because you know you're doing something wrong, and that's your moral code, your moral compass, and you should all listen to that. But when we're living in this country now, in this world where this is happening more and more and more, we've really collectively, we've got to start saying enough. We need something different, and we need to get rid of all of this evil, satanic child abuse. I mean, as a people, if we're not looking after the kids first and making sure that they're okay and they don't come into harm's way, I just really don't know what kind of a nation that we are. We're very morally bankrupt, aren't we? You know. So we're just waiting for Mike to pop in. Yeah, go on.
He needs to put 50 pence in the electric, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's because I'm sitting here when he was due to come in, and I'm thinking, is it my end? Is this his end? I think it's Mike's end. Remove from the studio and bring him in again. I've done that a couple of times. I think Mike can get there. He's probably run out of money having to pay £800 a month for his gas and electric. Now look, everyone's really feeling this now. January, February is going to be so tough. And I can imagine when spring comes, a lot of people are going to start feeling like a little bit relieved.
You cut off there, Dave. I've got no sound. Dave? You know, is everyone's internet going down tonight or something? Oh, it looks like it's just me. I think Dave's going to start. We're going to start talking about going into court cases anyway, and how I've dealt with it, and how Dave's mate dealt with it this week. So if people start going in there and acting the way we do, I think there'll be a lot of changes. But you've got to go in there and you've got to be righteous in what you do, and you've got to be fearless as well, because these people can lock you up. So at the end of the day, they're corrupt. You're going into a corrupt building with corrupt people. So if you're fearless and you can go in there with your head held high, then you can beat these people. Come on, Dave, what's happening? Sorry, people, I'm just trying to get it up on another link to see what's happening. Right. There's still no Dave. This is all going tits up, isn't it?
Right, I'm not sure.
I'm in.
He's in. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we're having some proper cries. I think MI5's giving us, or fucking MF5's giving us a run around with the money tonight. How you going, Al?
Yeah, not too bad, bro. Not too, bro. Been busy. Been very, very busy.
Good, man. Good.
I'm
Yeah,
like
sorry
the
about that.
proverbial dog shit, David.
Eh?
I'm like the proverbial dog shit.
All over the place. I said a joke years ago. We lost one of my mates at Christmas, and he was big. We used to call him Arnie. Yeah, he was a big boy. But back in 2000, we was in Port Banús, and I was a bit of an Herbert when I was younger.
Yeah.
And these two young ladies, they come and sat on our table. They were frightfully posh, and they sat at the end of the table drinking all our wine and eating all our fucking nibbles. And I clocked them. And I said, ladies, I said, what gets easier to pick up as you get older? And she said, I don't know. I said, dog shit. And she mate, it wasn't dog turd and a woman got in common. They get easier to pick up as they get older. And they fucking, their noses frowned, but the tables, the whole restaurant fucking lit up.
Hang on, I don't know what's happened here.
It was there's two of you on here.
Hang on, I'm trying to get rid of it.
No, that's not you. That's Mo. That's Mo.
Yes, mate.
Yeah, right, we're back.
Right.
So,
Yeah, do you want to see the puppies quickly?
yeah, see the pups, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. Can you see them?
Oh, look, who wouldn't want one of them? Look, come on now. Oh. Yeah, bless them. So, Mo, look, Mo's got 3 of these little beauties left. What are they, Mo? Boys or girls?
They're all boys.
They're all
They're what
boys.
you call a band dog. They're a band dog, like a banded. It don't mean they're illegal. It means they're a banded breed.
Right.
Yeah. It means the best of the breeds put together, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, and they're the ideal protection dogs.
Yeah, no, they're lovely. I've seen some videos you sent me. They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah. So yeah, they're ideal if you're looking for a dog that's good with a family, good with other pets, but really good protection dogs. These are the dogs to get.
One of them. Look, come on now. Mikey's got a bit of backfield, I think. Yeah, no, well done.
Yeah.
We're trying. We've got 3 of these little beauties left. What are they, Mo? Boys or girls?
They're all boys.
They're
what you call.
I think, yes, Mikey, you got a bit of backfeed, Angel.
Yeah. I mean they're illegal. It means they're a banded breed.
He's going to sort that one out, and then we'll bring him back in. He's looking like the milk tray man tonight, isn't he?
Yeah.
How come all your dogs are boys? Is this something you want to talk about?
No, all the girls are gone. I had 3 girls and 7 boys.
There's no answer to that, but moving swiftly on. I see there's 2 billiard balls in it tonight. Very nice.
I'm sharing some of mine. Look, I'm just going to share some of mine over to Alan. Here you go, Al.
Anyway, what a wonderful week we've had. The WEF back in Davos. I'll save the planet in their jets. It's wonderful. I've been very impressed. Did you watch this morning? They had Avi Yemeni, Rebel News on, and they chased up the CEO of Pfizer up the road, and they're asking all the questions like, who did you pay the $2.6 billion dollars in kickbacks to? And did you realise that the jab didn't give you immunity? Did you know that? And he went asking, and he was shitting himself, and he's trying to get away, and of course they're walking with him, and I was shouting all these questions out, about 3 of them wrapped around him, and he was absolutely in bits. He was gone, and they just asked all the questions, and he never answered one of them.
Well, they're not. But that tells you there's something fishy going on, right?
Of course there is. I mean, it's a joke, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest. It's something fishy when WEF, some creepy stuff going on. Really, Klaus Schwab is in his 80s, dresses up looking like Satan, as we know. Okay, yes. And he wants us, and he's impressed and totally enamored with the Chinese way of government, and he thinks we should all adopt it. We should become communists, basically. Oh. And what's really even worse, they're now mooting that when an old shitbag passes on to the fires of hell, Tony Blair, Saint Tony of Blair, will take over as the head of the WEF. And that's before we start talking about anything reasonable. Alan, you're looking very worried there.
What's Alan saying?
We said we got a lip read.
I've got lip wrap. What's up with your microphone?
Right, I'm back.
There's too many devices going. Somebody's got a couple of devices going, David.
I'm all right. I'm all
Have
right.
they?
I'll mute myself and you see it's not me.
It's not me.
It's not me.
Not me. We can hear that
What about
banging.
Dave?
That's Dave. That's his.
Oh, that little tick tick is just my little diesel heater keeping me warm. It's blowing warm air into my lap. It's very nice too. It's very nice too. Ladies and gentlemen, right? Listen, something's happened this week, and it happened in a courtroom up in Yorkshire, and this is an historical landmark because a gentleman, and he is a gentleman, and he can be a bit gruff because when he's being done over and stitched up, he stands up for himself, and that's what real men do that have got honour. Anyway,
Two devices, Dave. It's echoing all the time. You get feedback. I'm muting myself. Because it's not me.
Right. Okay. Let me just. What about now? Is it mute? Is it doing it now? Is it doing it now? No.
Is that all I can hear is you speaking, Dave?
That's fine. So anyway,
I've got no back feed either.
no, I haven't got no back feed. Well, I hope not. So yeah, this court case, it went on for 3 hours, and there was a couple of really important things that have happened this week. Really, really important. Everyone in the country to know about this. The first one I'm going to talk about is the court case that happened next door in the courtroom in the same building, but next. And this is family courts, and we know that they're horrible. They're satanic places. But my friend went out for a cigarette break, and this guy come out of this courtroom, and they started chatting. And he said, I've had a result. He said, I've been fighting for my kids to have proper rights to them. He said, I've been to prison for my conviction. I want to see my kids. He said, and I've just took my ex to court on very simple terms, and she's been found guilty of perjury. And when we go back after recess, she's being sentenced and sent to prison. So it is what it is. I think we're seeing things massively change. So this woman has lied and couldn't produce physical and material evidence. And this is what he asked the court. Can she provide physical and material evidence? And they said no. So she got done and found guilty of perjury, and she's probably now in prison serving some time for lying. But my friend's court case was quite interesting because he was in there, and he didn't let them muscle at all. And he's a forthright man. He knows his onions. He don't take no nonsense. And basically, cut a long story short, at the end of it, this judge said to him, "It's over now. You can leave." And he said, "You don't tell me to leave. This is my court. I'm the highest authority here." He said, "You can't even look me in the eyes." He said, "You need to shake your head and give your head a wobble." He said, "What are you doing to the people of this country?" He said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." And this judge was looking down like that. And my mate said, "You leave the court. You leave. Do I have to, for a third time, ask you, so help me God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit?" And this judge went, "I'm leaving." And my mate said, "Don't use that top door either." He said, "Because I've just taken your crown." He said, "You use the bottom door. You walk the plank. You leave this ship." And he got up and walked out. And my mate, that was victorious, mate. What he's done in the courts this week, standing as a righteous man and not tolerating none of their nonsense, he's wiped the floor with them. And I'm telling you that we're changing this world. We really are. It's a fabulous time. He took the court down. The judge, they had no defence against him. He said, "Are you trying to force personage on me? You do know that's parrotry and that's slavery. You can't do that." And every which way they turned, he had them covered, and they left the building. He said, "Who leaves the battlefield first loses by default." He said, "Get out of here." It's quality, mate. It's quality. And there's quite a few people that have done that. Mo himself sat here speaking there. He's done it a few times in court. He puts his arms out and says, "Crucify me, take me out the back, shoot me. I'm not changing. I'm a righteous man. Who do you think you are? Where's my victims? Show me my victims and I'll make amends with them." And they can't do nothing to him and this is the spirit we need to find, guys and girls. We got to stop acting like children when we go in these places and let us boss us around and tell us where to sit and how to dress and how to act and how we call these people judge and your honour. We got to stop all this nonsense. We really have. Mo, do you want to tell everyone what happened with you?
Yeah, well, basically, I've been up on silly driving charges each time, like either speeding or parking or just stupidness like that. And the first thing when I go in there and they ask you to swear on the Bible, because I walk in with a Bible in my hand. I'll take my King James version, and I walk in there, and I walk in proud, like I don't give a fuck, and I walk in with my Bible, yeah. And the first thing I'll say to the judge is, I'm a righteous man, and I'd like to bring God into this room, right? And I'd like to have a minute's prayer. Right, and they hate it, right? But they'll sit there in silence and let you do your bit, right? So once you've done that, then they'll go, right, they'll start asking you your name and all that, and can you swear on the Bible? Well, the first thing I'd say, it tells me in the Bible in several places, Your Honour, do not swear no oaths. So, and then they'll go, yeah, well, can you read out the atheist one? And I'm like, well, you're asking me, I do solemnly swear. I'm not down with that. I don't swear no oaths. My word is my word. My bond is my bond. And that is it. My truth is my truth. My yes be yes. My no be no. Right? And that is it. And that's what I say to them. Right? And then I'll say to them, where is my victim? Bring me my victim and let me make amends. Right? Well, they're not going to bring you the crown. Yeah? So where's my victim? And then I'll just say to him, I'm a righteous man, yeah, and I don't stand under none of this. Do you know what I mean? And you do what you're gonna do to me. I don't fear you, yeah. I stand with God. God is the only man that can judge me. I judge no other man. No other man can judge me.
Amen.
God is the only man that can judge me, and He will judge me on my righteous path at my end, right? And that is the way I live. So you do what you're going to do to me, Judge. I'm not scared of you, right? I'll tell them, take me out the back, get your guards to beat me up like you've done in the past, right? And all that. You do what you're going to do to me. You make it as painful and all that as your ego lets you. Mate, they can't take me in court. They cannot take me. The judge just slams his gavel and he's like, case dismissed. And I end up walking out. 3 times I've walked out of court.
And never heard no more.
No more. Well, once the gavel's been drawn, and he's bashed it down and said case dismissed, you're not going to hear no more.
That's true. That's true.
And I'll tell you one thing. Twice when the coppers were there, I swear he berated them coppers, right, and told them coppers, do not ever bring that man to this courtroom again.
Well, did any of you watch Alan posted yesterday with Rangy? That guy mentioned the Bill of Rights, Coronation Oath, and Magna Carta, and they had a day in court yesterday, and then the best part I thought was right at the end when they chased the judge down the street trying to serve.
That was Russell, the council solicitor.
He wouldn't take service. They tried to serve him,
and they wouldn't take papers. No.
Wouldn't accept. What a scumbag! What a coward!
Where was this?
They're all cowards. They're all cowards. These judges.
He's going to get them through the post anyway. He signed, and he'll get them through the post. But the ironic thing about that is when I did the interview at the end, and I was interviewing Christian Constable, the Mackenzie friend for Orangi, he came out and he wouldn't cross the threshold of the court. He went into the court. He asked the court, and he asked the usher if he could go before the judge or the representative of the judge could turn around and ask him if he recognised the jurisdiction under common law, or was he going to do it under maritime law? And he said he wouldn't cross the threshold, and the judge wouldn't have none of it. And the judge was a different judge to last time. We thought we were getting somewhere with the judge the first time, but they changed the judge in this second case. And they held the court without Rangby being in court. So Christian done a statement afterwards. I videoed it, and we chased the guy. The Middlesbrough Council are very, very corrupt. Like Mo saying about the corporation, they're very, very. What they're trying to do is shut Rangy up. He's got a van and it's got all plastered all over it. The reasons why he ended up in court is Middlesbrough County Council are trying to shut him up. They're seeing that their staff seem to be alarmed, harassed, and distressed by looking out the window at his van that's got things telling the truths about what's going on at the council offices. Instead of doing their jobs and sitting at their desks, they feel alarmed, stressed, and anxiety through looking out the window and reading the van instead of getting on with their jobs. So what they've done is they tried to stop his van. They couldn't stop his van because his van was parked right outside the court. And then the police got involved and they put a ticket on it, but they put the wrong details on it, so it was chucked out. But it's just a crazy world. So now we've got the 1st and 2nd of March. He's going to have it over 2 days. We haven't heard anything about the court. They wouldn't accept any papers. They wouldn't stamp anything. And I'll tell you what, the video, I sent it to you, Dave. I don't know if you saw it.
I have not watched it yet. I've been busy.
It's absolutely
The whole system's corrupt. The whole system is corrupt.
Hang on.
The whole lot's corrupt, and the only way you've got to do this is you've got to stand in your righteousness, and you've got to show them no fear. It's the only way, right? And it's the same when I had the bailiffs. Do you know what I mean? Every time they sent me a text message, I phoned them 10 times. Every time they sent me an email, I phoned them 30 times.
Yeah.
Right? And I drove them mental. Absolutely drove their staff mental. And all you do is work on their moral compass. Ask them, how can they do this job? How can you do this to people? Would you like this done to your elderly mother? Would you like this done to your elderly family? Would you like this done to your son or your daughter or your cousin? Would you like them to be put out on the streets with fuck all for a corporation? Yeah? Do you think you can go home of a night and kiss your kids and feel like you've done a righteous job? Mate, you keep working on them day in, day out. As soon as they send you that letter is an invitation for you to contact them, right? So they can't. Every time they send you a text message, right, it's an invitation. We'll take it up.
Yeah.
Berate their staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep on doing it. And then in the end, the governor of the company sent 2 bailiffs to my door. And then they knocked on my door, and they was like, whoa, because they could, like, I was like, mate, well, you coming to take something because, like, one of you's going to die today, or I'm going to die because no one's taking fuck all, right? And with that, they went, no, we've come in peace. And basically, they've said to me that, the manager, the owner of the company, has paid my fucking debt of 85 quid. Just to clear the case up to get me to stop fucking phoning up, because I've made 2 of his staff go on sick leave.
And I know when we were talking about Mo as well, is that I had a lot of problems with the council, and I was talking to Dave about it, funny enough, and Dave drafted me something and sent me something, which not only did I send to the council, but also they didn't like the fact that I recorded them in meetings. They kicked up hell because I recorded them, and I said, well, I've got everything on evidence. I've got the truth of everything that was said. And I said, you're welcome to have a copy of the tape. I've taped exactly what's been said. So there's nothing, there's no such thing as hearsay here. What's been said is the truth and nothing but the truth. So if you want to go down that rules and regulations, or you go down the corporation, it's like Christian said there, will the judge recognise common law, or is he going to judge us under maritime law? Is he going to put us in the dock? Oh, we lost dead and lost at sea. And all the cliches that you used at the top of the show, David, when you was describing the maritime and admiralty law.
Yeah, you can only go in really under natural law. I think common law, all that other stuff, I think we got to stop using all that. You go in as the man under natural law, and you give it to them, and you tell them you're right.
The living man. When we talk about our feet on the ground, are common land. We come from common land. We are patriots of the soul. The land we stand on is the land of the rules and the regulations that we should be adhering to, not acts and statutes. These guys seem to forget. We put them in office. We pay them. That's not the other way around. We tell them what to do, and they don't tell us what to do. And people
Parliament.
You know the day that when this stops. You know the day that this stops.
When we tell you
this, right? I'll tell you, there's that day when this stops, right? When 1,000 people goes to a court case, right? And you go in there, and you watch the court case, and then you say this was total bullshit, this was corrupt, you're a traitor, and you drag him straight out, and you put a rope round his neck, and you put him up on the tree for being a traitor, right? And us fans and men will stand our ground, and say, you fucking do what you're going to do to us, right? Yeah. That'll be the day that it stops. I can tell you.
Yeah, that's true.
It's slightly draconian, though.
And that, Mo, me, Dave, and Mikey have been in London. We were there on the 5th of November last year. Was it last November? It was. No, was it the year before that?
November before.
Yeah, the year before that, we were all there, and there was quite a good crowd there, weren't there, Dave?
Yeah.
And they at one stage pushed the police back up Whitehall, but. You know, like you're saying, Mo, until people, this is what annoys me, really, because child abuse is where I come from my background and campaigning for the children of tomorrow and so on and so forth and going forward. And you get football stadiums full. You know, Manchester City and Tottenham are playing tonight, right? And you've got a crowd of, 60, 70,000 watching them. Where are those people when it comes to child abuse? Where are they when it comes to boots on the ground and being on the street at these demos? And why don't they say speaking up for the children? You know, that's what annoys me. Is not enough voices given for the children.
Amen. Yeah, well, I said that at the beginning of the show. What about the kids?
Well, have you seen that case in America that's just come up to light in America with the 2 LGBT queer geezers that have adopted the 2 boys? Right, and they've been buggering the shit out of them, beating them, making them stand in a corner, and then they've been pimping them out on fucking that Grindr and all that shit, and doing it on normal social media.
Wow.
Do you know America now has gone nuts because in DC, what they've done, they are dropping some of the harsher sentences for murder, carjacking, all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff. So America is now becoming like the Wild West because what you're going to get now is they're trying to disarm the population, which that ain't going to happen. So I reckon it won't be long before you have a civil war, and it will be.
Oh, it's coming. We're going to have one. Don't think it ain't. We're all going to end up in civil war. Yeah, this is their plan.
In California, they want to give every black man $5 million.
Yeah.
To make reparations for what? Reparations for what? They're not.
I'm going to terrorist.
They're not black Americans. They are Americans. They're not black Americans. They're Americans.
You say that. Do you remember Matt Letizia? He got sacked from Sky Sports.
He did.
18 years of being on Sky Sports. Yeah. I don't know if you know the story about what happened.
Yeah.
Badges to wear of Black Lives Matter. And he's looked and he said, what's all this about, you know? And he looked at the other guys, the Carragers and all that have been reinstated and all that. And he's looked at them and he's I'll go with the flow. And I put it on. And then after the show, he's took the badge off and he's given it back to the producer. He said, don't ever ask me to wear that again. And that's what he said to him. Don't ever ask me to wear that again. He says, because I know what Black Lives Matter is all about. I know about the funding and I know what it's all about and what it all stands for. He said, and turned around and said, so don't ever, if you want child abuse and things like that, or if you're going to represent somebody properly, I am all for that. But don't ask me to do something I am not comfortable with myself.
Amen.
All right. And that's what it, so I'm on Saturday going to be at the BBC in Langham Place filming because Matt Letizia is speaking outside the BBC in Langham Place on Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Good for him.
Phil Watkins is going to be there with me, and me and Phil are going to be filming the whole event of the day. So anybody out there, Langham Place, 1 p.m. Matt Letizia, I hope he's speaking. He's put it on Twitter that he's going to be there and he's going to be speaking. And I find him nothing but a truth teller.
Proper. I mean, the guy, not only was he a fabulous footballer, played for a bit of a crap team, but my word, was he strong and powerful?
Yeah.
There weren't like many like Letizia. And I've watched him be interviewed by a lot of people, and that man, he's got his heart on his sleeve. And I say, fair play, Matt Letizia. You go, bro. You go. What a way to go.
Yeah, he seems to be righteous.
So. He is. Yeah, he is.
Again, the same thing, mate. I was in Buckingham Palace last Saturday, and I was filming outside Buckingham Palace, and we went there for the two American girls. And we were doing a thing there with Alison and a few other guys, and there was a few speakers and so on and so forth. And I filmed the whole lot on Saturday. The weather conditions were actually awful, and I didn't think it was going to go ahead because it was absolutely poor. I didn't even, if you saw any of it, Dave. I did send you bits and pieces and snippets of what I did. But that was for the children. And that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm going for. But I will find this very, very interesting because I find Matt Letizia a very, very articulate, intelligent man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're seeing lots in. I mean, I don't get too tucked up by celebrities. I've met many in my time. I don't just see them as men and women. I don't get hyped up, psyched up by it. Or it is what it is. You know, they're either good or they're bad, and I can pretty much tell. Yeah, I met Chico, and I know, Chico time. Chico's a lovely man. Yeah. He's properly got his heart on his sleeve. That boy. He's spiritual, and I'm spiritual, and I guess Mo, and we're all here. We're all spiritual. We're fed up with this dark, wicked system, and we're seeing the darkness rise. But Mo, I was speaking to Mo earlier on the phone, and he said that where he lives, he said when he's out and about buying his shopping and that, he's chatting with people that had the mask on. He's saying, "Well, where's your mask?" And he said they're spitting feathers. Don't you fucking tell me about masks. We've all been had over. This government's fucked us up. And these were hard mask wearers 6 months ago. So I tell you what, this bubble, this governmental bubble of what they've been doing is burst. It's burst. The riverbanks have firmly burst. Even this week, that Greta Thunberg, I mean, I don't like talking mainstream, but she got arrested. And I mean, if you watch how she was arrested, that's a fucking pantomime.
Yeah.
What the
she weren't arrested. She was taken down there and given fucking sandwiches and lobster.
That's right. So what is it that the actual establishment think we're this pig?
They think we're fucking idiots. But I'll tell you what, I'd say 40% of the fucking nation are.
Yeah, no, you're right. I can't argue that.
Why are you talking on the reverse of that? There's a woman and as a Scouse woman called Chelsea Russell. Now she had a friend who was killed in a car crash at 19 years old. So what she did, she put on one of the on mainstream media on I think it was like Facebook or something like that. She put the song lyrics to his favourite rap song, and it's full of the N-word, full of this, full of that.
Yeah.
She was arrested and prosecuted, and given 500 hours community service. She got a year of curfew, 8 till 8, and a fine. And that was her just putting on the lyrics to a song that was out there, a very famous song. She put it online, and she got that. That's why we got double standards. Do you know how many people were arrested for social media for saying the wrong things on social media last year?
Go on.
3,000 people were arrested, prosecuted for posting things online that they found questionable. It's
how many in Russia, Mick?
Hey?
How many in Russia?
Well, in Russia, of course, you can't get anything in Russia at the moment. You can't even get a slice of bread. Well, I can make a bit because it's like they're in a shit show out there. But
but how many people got arrested for hate speech in Russia?
I can't see that. It hates, but you can't. If you say anything derogatory about black or homosexuals in Russia, you don't get anything because as far as
exactly. Well, out in Russia. There's no one being Nick Great speech out in Russia. So who's under the communist fucking regime here?
We are. Of course we are. I mean,
exactly.
The Conservative Party is not a right wing party, is it? It's a left wing party.
You just touched on something about the masks. So today I got a text from NHS. And it says NHS Lincolnshire for the area I'm in, the county that I'm in. And it's got underneath it, right, let me just read it. So, this is a new one. I've put this post up on Facebook. This is new. Right, it's got, due to the rising level of community respiratory infections, Lincolnshire ICB has stimulated that the use of masks in all healthcare settings. Please wear a face covering when attending surgery. Telephone consultations are available. Help us help you. So it's saying the ICB, and ICB is now they call themselves the NHS Integrated Care Board. That's what I was trying to put up. Integrated Care Board. What they're doing is just passing the buck. Like they put jurisdictions on different bits and pieces. The corporation moved the ball about or moved the goalpost. And they tried to move it or sound it so it's different. It's nothing new. No. It's the same old shit all the time.
Of course it is. You shouldn't have to pay for healthcare. If there's any of your loved ones have to come home and they need care, whatever it is, there's no way the NHS should be in there plundering your fucking life savings or your house or trying to steal from you. That's where this has all gone wrong. We need an English Parliament. We need a Parliament of the people. Even the Bill of Rights, 1688-89, which is their statute, which is their bonded. They're bonded to that. It says that the law is the birthright of the people and you can't do nothing to the prejudice of the people. And it says if the people are fucking had enough of you, the people have the right to oink you out. So let's oink the cunts out. Excuse my French. Oink them out.
The thing is, Dave, this country sucks anyways. We know that because it's full of double standards. It's like there's us. It's become us and them. But what's really annoying me at the moment is all the strikes that are going on. Now, like the nurses. The nurses earn, I think, an average nurse gets 35 grand a year. Okay.
Yeah, hang on. They're not arguing over wages because I had a district nurse who's a good friend rides our horse here last weekend, and she said it's not about the money. We're not doing this for the money. We're doing this for conditions and basically being supported. We're not striking over money.
Hang on, Dave. We all know we could talk about the NHS till I die, which could be any day now. Who knows? But I mean, be honest with you, the NHS is a dinosaur that's got to be rid of. It's got to be swept away, and we've got to put a system that's fair.
Why was the NHS set up? Do you know the pure reason? The only reason it was set up?
What, in 1947?
Eugenics.
It could have been eugenics. Yeah.
Eugenics. It was set up for eugenics. They don't do nothing for no one, these cunts.
Yeah, but up until then...
there's always an ulterior motive.
Well, up until that point, up until we had the NHS, used to pay everybody, all the people who had no money, spent 2 or 3 coppers a week into the doctors, and that
panel. It was called the panel. It was called the panel.
That's right, and they paid, and they were it's almost guaranteed. I think it was about £4 a week, old money.
Yeah, it was old money.
Nobody. Well, I can remember it, but I don't know many of you can. But I mean,
my nan got treated under the panel. She died in 5 years ago. She was 96.
I mean, someone was telling me, "What's a guinea?" You know, what's a guinea? I said, "Well, it's Italian." but I said, no, it's £1, £1 shilling, or £1 it's £1, £1.5.
Yeah, £1, £1 shilling.
Not many people know that. They don't know what a sovereign is, unless you've got it on the ring and around your neck. You know what I mean? They don't know what a florin is. They don't know what.
But the trouble is with the NHS today, it's been sold off to all these different companies, and they've taken the good bits, and it's all about money. Exactly what I was going to say, Dave. It's all about money, and you've got all these managers running these. They haven't got a clue.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, Alan, you got something like that. Wes Streeting, who's the gay guy from who runs the shadow health minister, this young fella who thinks he's a bit of a know. He wants to get rid of GPs, and it was said by silly bollocks, the Camden creep. You know what's Keir Starmer, and he's the guy who wants to everybody just apply to a specialist. So you just don't ring your GP, you ring a specialist now. So the fucking queues will be, instead of being a mile long, they'll be 20 miles long. I mean, they haven't got a clue. Not one of those 650 people sitting in that place at Westminster Bridge have got a fucking clue how to run this country. There's no common sense, absolutely no common sense whatsoever. As far as it goes, all of this NHS has to be got rid of. Yes, we should be free at the point of use, but what you still got to remember is the NHS is swamped. Why? Because we've got people coming from abroad, coming over on the channel, full of disease. We've got scarlet fever, we've got diphtheria, we've got measles coming in. We got rid of all these years ago, but all these people bring it back. That's the problem. And now the NHS is swamped with people from abroad who've not had healthcare, complaining that they're living in 4 or 5-star hotels when they've been living on fucking the side of the road in a hut or under canvas or in plastic sheets. And now they're complaining that food ain't good enough. We can't get a signal on our phone. And they're chucking people out their own homes, putting them in squalor so they can house these fuckers. I've got no problem with people coming to this country with legitimate cause. But most of the people coming here aren't legitimate. They're coming here because they want to come here. They want to come and rob, steal, and fucking rape. And that's what.
Listen, the classic is Andrew Bridgen. Out of all the MPs that you've got in Parliament, I don't care what anybody says or anybody thinks. He is the only politician. You've got a party, right, that call themselves the party of opposition. They are supposed to be there in power to oppose a lot of what this government is supposed to be doing. And what is the fucking Keir Starmer doing at the moment?
Nothing.
He's over in fucking Davros.
Yeah.
You know, he's over there. He's bullshitting over in there, over in another country.
He's in the right place, isn't he?
Up there. But Andrew Bridgen stood up, and then you had Parliament last week where a fucking guy went onto a celebrity television show eating fucking bugs like Matt Hancock, turning around and saying that bloke was a fucking total arsehole. None of it makes fucking sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. It's they've all. My thing is, when do the people of this great country, England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and any expats all around the world, when is it we draw the line? Because there's so many people moan, and we're not in here moaning. We're bringing things to the forefront, and we're having general discussions without losing our rags and losing our tempers. When is it we're going to draw the fucking line? When are we going to say enough to police paedophiles?
I done it at 14 when I fucking left school because it was an indoctrination camp. I left at 14 and went to work.
Yeah, don't blame me.
That's when I realised. I was like, this is bullshit, and I just went off and fucking went to work. That was it.
The thing is, a lot of what's happening, a lot of the law breakers in this country are people who don't come from this country. Look at what happened in Rotherham and on all the places up. They're all Pakistanis. Okay, look at what's happening now. The rapes that are going on are all, when they're captured, they're from foreign countries. They're not suggesting our indigenous population is wonderful. They're certainly not. But the majority of people coming here, they're flooding with young men who are walking around with a hard on, and that's basically what they're doing.
But the system is designed for destruction, Michael, and this is why we're coming here. We're trying to avert the destruction, but they are going out for.
You could put 5 fingers up. You could turn around and say, "Are our politicians fit for service? Are our MPs, are our health service fit for service? Are our police service fit for purpose? Are our judges and are our court systems fit for purpose?" You can go right down the bloody line, right? And it's all broken. It's all fucking gone, mate.
Everything is fucked.
And that's how horrible, as a person born and bred in this country, to talk about my fucking country like that. But, you know, when politicians turn around and say, well, lessons have been learned, have they it's just fucking play on words.
The guy said, "But the government, Pakistani government, have a deal."
Could do. Have a look at Albert Pike's predictions. I've said this so many times. From Albert Pike was a senior Freemason quite a long time ago. He wrote his predictions of what is to come, and I tell you what, we're in the last chapter of that prediction. Let me tell you.
The post just been put up by Loquacious and Live and Friends. Don't know if you can see that on the screen.
You know the country. Yeah, I can see it because I put it up. You know the country is fucked when you have the RNLI bringing in these fighting age men. The hotels housing them, and NHS treating as a click of a finger means, well, Sunak is banking the best part of 100k. Well, there you go. You summed it up, and he summed it up.
It does mean 100 grand a day. 100 grand a week. His wife's a billionaire anyway. So, I mean, he doesn't need the money. I mean, these people, what are they doing? They just take the piss. I mean, there's got people out there who actually know what they're doing and don't get a look in because we don't vote for them. You know, that's why we got a king. We'd be better off with a republic in some respects. because when you can pick like they do in America. I'm not suggesting it's great, but the thing is, when I worked for the Bank of England, I met some of the most fantastic economists you can meet. And I said to Eddie George, who was then the governor of the Bank of England, I said, why don't they ask you? Why don't they have someone like you as Chancellor of the Exchequer? Because what on earth, as Jeremy Hunt, what the fuck does he know about being Chancellor of the Exchequer? Okay.
Nothing.
What does anyone? Well, we got the civil service. Yeah, but the civil service. What are they for? They're a load of communists. They don't like this country. They want to see this country back in the EU.
They're the problem. The civil service.
They don't. They want to get rid of the English. We're too confrontational.
The civil servants are the problem. The civil servants are the problem. They're the ones bringing this.
Well, he's making them look how Swift is making the thing. But the rapists catching rapists, absolutely. And with the police,
yeah, but that should say
rapist to catch a rapist is right.
Rapist protecting rapist.
Well, exactly.
Because that's what they're doing. They're protecting rapists. Because the Sarah Everard case, there's so many cases where the Metropolitan Police have done this using their uniform and their ID cards and so on and so forth, and their handcuffs to fucking put women in handcuffs. This isn't fucking nothing new. This has been going on fucking donkey's years. John Wedge has been telling it it's complicitly fucking corrupt fucking from day dot.
I would bring back hanging. I've got to be honest. My hand on my heart. I would bring back hanging. I would have it so that the families of the individuals that things have happened to, they're the ones. Yeah, they're the ones that after the jury trial was you're guilty. The family should be the ones that whether they want to exercise clemency or say no, actually put them in the noose. Because
these kids, Dave, like kid 14 stabs a guy 53 and he's dead.
I know, I heard about that.
He'll go HMP, and by the time he gets to 22, he'll be free. That's it. Now he's alive for another 70, 60 years, and that guy's dead forever. Right? So where is, I'm not suggesting you string up 14 or 15-year-olds, but if a kid wants to walk around with a knife in his fucking head stabbing people, you say to him, the minute you stab anybody, it's a minimum, you will do a minimum of 10 years. You murder them, you're never coming out of prison. Ever. You're never fucking coming out of prison. And that's the only way you can stop it. Anybody someone,
the people have got to remember, Mikey, is you've got to forget about the elections. When the elections come round, right, you do not want to vote any of the two fucking mainstream parties, regardless to whatever it is, whatever you think, whatever you say. The trouble is, these people have got so fucking comfortable in their own lifestyles, they think it won't affect me. But now it's starting to affect people, and they're turning around and saying, I've been listening too fucking long. I've had that blindfold on, or I've had me fucking earplugs in, or whatever the case might be. I've not been listening, and I've been looking.
Yeah,
Alan, I'm a lifelong Conservative. I was in the Conservative Party, and I resigned. I've got rid of it. I used to donate money to them, but now I don't. I'll never vote Conservative again.
No, well, I wouldn't vote Labour because Labour don't represent.
I would never vote Labour. I'm not. I just won't vote.
Most of their councils are fucking.
What good is voting? What's the point? What do we get? Yeah. More of the same.
The two-tier party system has never worked. You tell me what they should have done to start from there when they put a manifesto out and the promise of them being elected, because that's basically how they get into office, right? They're promising this to the people. They're going to do this, do that. All this shit that we're going through now, all we've done with our electricity and gas bills going through the roof is pay for the Ukrainian war. That's why fucking people are paying for everything fucking today.
Yeah, of course.
Why is it? Why are the all these companies allowed to make? I mean, they say we'll take a windfall tax. Well, why are they making a profit? Why are they not make? They say if you're making 5 or 6 billion quid a year, rather than the government take it and do fuck all with it. Instead, suck it into the NHS, which is pointless. Why don't they just say, drop the prices down to a level that people can now afford? Why don't they do that? Why don't they say to people who like it, absolutely, why don't they, in all honesty, make electricity, gas and all that, why don't they make that, bring it back to a level, get rid of all the fucking, I'm a capitalist, I believe in making profits. That's where our pensions are made, okay? But right now, at this time, just like mortgages, the people, there's going to be, I reckon there'll be 250,000 people out of home because they can't pay their mortgages. Why don't the banks just turn around and say, okay, we understand we've got a problem here, we'll just put you on interest only. You just pay the interest on your loan. That would cut down a lot of people's problems. And stick it for 2 years.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mikey. There was a post just put up just a second ago while you was talking, Mikey, and it's you vote for these fuckers, you're going to invite the inevitable.
Exactly. I agree. So basically, but the alternatives of this, if we don't vote for somebody, you're going to get people like ultra left-wing people who we know manipulate the vote. That's how Suck Dick Khan got in. Oh, Suck Dick, he's Lord Mayor of London. And look, he's running right over London. And they can't do nothing about him. He needs fucking putting against the wall.
There is an answer to all that. Is if you vote independent, surely it's easy to replace an independent than it is this old school fucking
I agree with you.
Well, the problem with politics,
the old fucking classroom, get rid of that fucking lot. The fucking times of Eton should be long gone, mate.
Yeah.
We've got 25 fucking prime ministers come out of Eton, and what have they done for this country, and what have they done for the state of this country today?
party politics is very, very dangerous when they're all whipped into shape. It is dangerous. And for 600 years, Parliament never tolerated that. It was purely independent people. And a law, people seem to misunderstand. An actual law should take a hell of a long time to be debated on, to be developed, to be saying, well, yeah, that's morally acceptable. Let's do that. You shouldn't be having 1,000 of these legislative things filed every day, and you've done this because you farted on a balcony. I mean, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So I say, if politics is to stay, get rid of party politics, bring everyone back to independent, and slow the fucking thing down.
Yeah, but people need to look at things, David. People need to look at the Magna Carta 1215. They need to look at the Arbroath Agreement in the 1300s, 1666, the Battle of Runnymede, all the history that we fucking got. And we are stoked in the history. This country is stoked in it. And we need people to look at the history and know the fucking facts of what's happened to the common person and the living man or living woman to this very fucking day.
Well, this is why they're the country, though, isn't it? Because then no one really gives a fuck about our history, our country, and all that. So, like,
they get rid of it. They get rid of our history. And then it's not even my granddaughter didn't know who fucking Winston Churchill was. She didn't know he was. They said all they know about that this country was responsible for slavery, right? Yeah. And we were colonialists, and we brought death and destruction around the planet. But what they fucking failed to forget is this is the first country that got rid of slavery. Under William Wilberforce. I mean, we know that.
When did they bring up Wilberforce? I tell you, ask any of these kids, who was William Wilberforce? They don't know fuck all.
Absolutely. Not a clue. Not a clue. Unbelievable. And that's the problem. They are being brainwashed by teachers who are communists and left-wing and got their own agenda. They just see, give us more money, more power. That's all it's about. Let's have a subjugated fucking population.
You'll get people say, is that the geezer that ended up in the drink?
It's a shit show. A real shit show.
Well, I think everybody in this country should just get arms. We're to the government. We're all armed up to the teeth. If you ain't proper when you come across our threshold, things are going to get spicy. I believe, right? I've tested
the English have to unite. And look, not only the English, the United Kingdom has to unite. It has to become one. We've gone our different fucking ways. You've got what's happening in Welsh and the Welsh.
We haven't gone out Alan.
And trying to sexualise children at the age of 3 years of age. It's just got. What does that say for this country in the future? If you're trying to fucking teach children at the age of 3 years of age about fucking bananas, 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin, 4 fucking skin, getting jars of Nutella and putting a banana in it, teaching fucking children at 3 years of age, let them have their fucking innocence. Let them be children first.
Yeah. Why are you talking about foreskins?
That's only a banana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, I think old Swifty's son's got hold of his laptop tonight, and one of his kids is commenting.
Absolutely. I've got to say that Dave Swift does look like he's 200 years old and probably go back that far. Remember it, doesn't he? Let's be honest.
he's a character. Whatever you say about David, David, he is a character. He is such a funny man.
Proper.
But you see, the trouble is, David and some truth tellers out there that tell it as it is end up getting restricted, barred, or go against community standards. These fuckers that sit in the back room and these fact checkers, they want to fucking give their heads a wobble because they ain't got a Scooby-Doo.
Amen, brother.
What's message, Dave?
We got a beautiful Scotsman just popping in the room for the last part of the show. Evening, Jamesy baby.
Hang on a second. Is that Nicola Sturgeon? Is that Nicola Sturgeon with a beard?
No!
If Nicola Sturgeon ever did have a beard, she probably looked like me.
Hey, every day. Let's welcome our guest and give him the floor a sec. How we doing, James?
I'm not too bad, mate. How are you guys doing? I just thought I'd pop in just to say hello and add some topical bits to what you're talking about. Because you've mentioned a good few topics that I've been listening to, and one thing that really pisses me the most off in this country about, right, you've really got me on the subject, is this bullshit political system that supposedly represents the electorate of the people. It clearly fucking doesn't.
No.
Because if it did, we'd actually have common people in the House of Commons, hence the name House of Commons.
There you go.
But the people that are in that House of Commons right now are not common people. They're descendants of either slave owners, aristocrats, or really, really wealthy people. That presents a problem to our system of governance because
Well said.
Governance must be bipartisan and it must be free of any conflict of interest, including what? Money.
Amen.
So the more money involved makes it a political game to get as much money so you can pay for all the advertisements, do all the canvassing. But it shouldn't be like that. It should be free. Our constitution clearly says elections are supposed to be free. Where's the freeness to them if you need a certain amount of money, you need to pay, you need all this kind of shit? It's not an electoral system at all. It's a bullshit game.
Yeah, it is. But I think we're all coming to that realisation now, though. I mean, everyone, my family, they're all cheese right off. They know that.
Yeah, but don't you think the right idea though the right idea is, rather than we keep saying the Scots, the English, the Irish, and the Welsh, how about we say us Britons? Okay, say to you politicians, go fuck yourselves.
That's it. Yeah.
There's a reason.
Kingdom, it should
There's
be
an
a
ancient
United Kingdom. That's what it should be. We shouldn't be saying English, Irish, Scotch. We should be as a united country.
Amen.
There's a reason. There's a very big reason, and it goes back to history. And this is the problem. They've not been teaching people history in order for them to fully understand what the United Kingdom is. See, the United Kingdom isn't a nation of itself, but it's a nation of nations that becomes a nation of itself, of those interconnected nations by
we appreciate that. The point I'm making here is that we're all talking about getting rid of government. The only way we get rid of government, if we all stay united and say, go fuck yourselves, we want to put people in there that really matter. The problem is you can't, because you've got people like Carr, you've got your little mate up in Scotland, you've got the Jimmy Cranky, you've got down here, we've got Sunak, then you've got the Welsh wizard in Wales. These people are divisive and they manipulate the populations for their own gain and benefit. I mean, we all know the SNP.
Our country. See, I recently joined the SNP myself because I want to try and make some changes to that political party because I don't think...
but it's corrupt, isn't it? It's a corrupt party.
A lot of the political system is corrupt, and that is true. Yeah. People should be aware of that fact. Yeah, a lot of money does bring a lot of corruption, and total power corrupts completely. Like,
absolutely.
I'm not being funny, but that amount of power, there's no chance you're not going to become tainted.
Yeah, but if you're in the SNP, do you believe in devolution then? Do you believe that Scotland should be an independent country?
Well, historically, because Dave Witcher mentioned it, right? If you go and look in the Declaration of Arbroath, the Arbroath Declaration, that's the foundational document that the Scottish Catholics sent to the Roman Pontiff, the Pope, basically telling them that Scotland's free from England and that their people won't be subjugated to their control or be subject to them, and that if ever a time came during the existence of that declaration, if Scotland became bound by in any way whatsoever to English authority, for example, the Scotland Act, then it gives them a right to appoint a new king, and their king can then make a new government and then absolve that act of union completely with England, and then boom, they're devolved. But they're trying to do it under English consent. They're trying to do it under Westminster's control, and Westminster won't allow it. We know that for a fact. They won't, because a majority of the English Parliament's money comes from Scotland, and that's a fact.
Yeah, but do you really want Queen Nicola? Do you really want Queen Nicola?
No, I prefer King James, to be honest, because, you know, he was there a couple of hundred years ago.
He's dead. He's dead. He's a black book now, so it's a bit different. But
Well, so they say. They say he's dead.
You won't. You cannot.
They say he's
you
dead,
cannot.
but I look just like him.
Right now is not the time to divide the nations. We need to be strong together. I mean, let's be honest. When it comes to push comes to shove, when this country goes together, nobody fucks with Britain. Nobody fucks with the Brits. Nobody fucks with the Scots, the Irish, or the Welsh. They all stand together.
When do we come together? Like the way I see it, right? In America, you get groups that build like they build their militias up, yeah, and they've actually got militias. So if they do go into a civil war, they're half prepped, right?
We used to have that,
but
we did used to have
we've
that.
got none of that over here. They've stopped us gathering. They've stopped us doing our shit.
Yep.
Well, they can't stop 10,000 men all getting up down the fucking park and meeting up, right?
Well, they can.
Training and a bit of
they're trying to.
In a way, they can do, because they'd call a gathering of 10,000 plus people in one place a potential act of terrorism.
Yeah.
The potential. That's how they stop people from gathering. And the same with the anti-protest laws. They're trying to stop people communicating and protesting and standing up for their rights.
Yeah, but you've got 10,000 fucking fighting men. What's the fucking 300 coppers in that area gonna do?
Nothing.
I completely agree with you. I'm not going to dispute what you're saying, because that's an effective fact of tactical logic. If you show up with more men than them, the other men are going to run. It's simple.
Yeah.
I seen this happen when the riots happened in Manchester. You know, when the Tory government caused the whole country to go up in smoke and everybody was rioting and kicking off. Yeah. The police couldn't handle it. I seen it myself. I watched a whole battalion of police officers retreat, run away.
Yeah.
They would run.
I seen it firsthand.
Rose up, the old Bill, they would rip their uniforms off quicker than quick, and they'd fucking join us.
They did that in the poll tax riots. We saw them shitting themselves in the poll tax riots. I mean, I was there. Yeah. I mean, it was a laugh. I mean, just see the police being terrorised by the crowds, being absolutely beaten up, and it was a lovely sight to see.
Well, we saw the same there on the 5th of November last year, a year ago last November, and we were in London. We saw them pushing the police back up Whitehall. They were shitting themselves.
I remember.
The crowd was, and then they should have took up arms. I'm sorry, but
there you go.
Yeah, I want to help people understand something. The Bill of Rights 1689, when it refers to arms, it doesn't refer to actual arms as in firearms. It refers to coats of arms, seals, because seals carry the penultimate authority of a sovereign.
Yeah.
True.
So I just thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah,
under each of those seals was a man, and each of those seals was able to have a militia. Most lords who carried those seals had a militia, which is
the power of a seal. The power of a seal bears authority. It's the same in the court. That's back in the day. They didn't rubber stamp. They used wax seals.
That's right.
They did.
Yeah.
What does yours
old
say?
law, but it's effective. It works.
I hope yours
mine's got my coat of arms on it.
Has it got "fuck you" on it?
No, mine's got my coat of arms that I have there in the corner.
Well, hang on a second.
The only one left that hasn't been stolen.
As it happens, me and Dave are lords, aren't we?
I've got a bit of land in Scotland. I'm a landowner in Scotland.
I've got a bit of land in Kent.
Oh, don't tell me you fell for that scam as well.
Yeah.
I think it cost 50 quid. It was bought for a laugh. But it is a good laugh.
Look, guys, there's times coming in this country. There's The AMP is going up. Bailiffs are starting to feel it now. They're being escorted off properties. And I've said, if the system keeps coming as it is for people when they've got less and less and less, there's going to start being coppers murdered and bailiffs murdered. It's a mathematical thing.
People want to avoid that kind of catastrophe.
Of course, but you can see it. It's coming. It's coming.
And how long can we take being slaves? How long? How much longer can you take being fucking slaves, knowing that your children and your grandchildren are going to be in a worse state than ours?
Yeah, that's true.
I actually think
so how long is it
we're dead and lost at sea at the moment
to rise up? That's
no, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm a Catholic. I'm legally declared dead in the Act of Settlement, so I'm like literally legally dead.
Yeah, but me and Dave, because I'm a limited company, so I'm back on land.
My mate that kicked this judge out of court the other day, this judge said to him, the case is over, you can leave. My mate said to him, you don't tell me to leave, this is my court. He said, you're going to leave. He said, now are you going? And this bloke looked at the ground, this judge said, yes, I'm leaving, right? But whilst he was in there, he turned around to the security guards and he said, am I a man? Can you see me living? Yeah. Everyone, about 8 people agreed that James was stood there living. And he said to the clerk, do you see a living man before you? And this court clerk said, I can't answer that question.
Yeah, I've come across a few clerks like that are like that. They refuse to answer the questions, and then they'll advise the staff don't answer any more of his questions because those questions in that courtroom at that time would invalidate the whole system that they're running.
Absolutely.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, my mate smashed their back doors in the other day, and it's historical. Absolutely historical moment happening in this country. He was letting them have it left, right, and centre, and they fled. They had no choice. He shone so much on them that they had to get going. They really did, and it was brilliant. It's brilliant. People standing up.
We saw judges run, didn't we, Alan? The other day, we saw judges. Well, I watched it on watching the judge being chased down the road.
Well,
he's coming.
If you get time, Dave, I'll send that to you. I'll repost it. I'll resend it to you again now. I'll send it back to you now. If you get a chance, have a look at it. And Christian Constable, when I filmed it outside Middlesbrough, combination calls they call them now, and the council solicitor running down the road afterwards and not accepting papers being served on him, and the court itself wouldn't take anything off of us. So now we're going to do it by UPU law. It's all going to be.
It's disgusting, mate. We've let our servants creep in and take over. Nice to see it tonight,
Thank you.
We're coming up to the end of the show now, but I don't know if you know, we do this Wake Up UK every Thursday night at 9, and the show that's before me is our Scottish wonder, Billy Watson, does a fabulous hour and a bit. So you might want to go back onto Wake Up UK and watch Billy in some of his previous shows. He's awesome. He's Billy Watson.
Yeah, I take a look from time to time.
Quick shout out before I go myself. Is next Tuesday. I'm trying to get this Christian Constable and Rangi on Delroy show for Tuesday night at 9:00. So
brilliant.
Arrange to try and do it so we can get some legalese. Hopefully, T King might be involved or whatever the case might be. But Charles, Delroy, Rangi, myself are all be on, and hopefully Christian Constable, the Mackenzie friend that was representing the Middlesbrough Court, will be on 9:00 next Tuesday on Delroy show.
Brilliant, fabulous. What last words we got, Mo?
I think we should start a battalion of fucking archers.
Well, actually still legal, just.
It is.
I'd rather be in the. I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I'll be in the infantry. I'm happy that I'll be in the infantry. I'll be AK-47 though, you know.
Yeah, but David had his rockets last November.
He did, yeah.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, if you're watching, Dave, you're going to turn up the next one with your rocket stuck up your ass.
I'll borrow a few Chinooks off Biden over there. Flyers in his style.
Happy days, guys. Well, I want to apologise to everyone in here for the beginning of the show tonight.
Yeah, sorry about that. It might have been partly mine as well.
Well, no, internet. Mo was saying over in Essex, his internet had gone a bit wobbly, and he's got like super everything. So it was hard getting Mikey on, so it makes sense. But I want to thank everyone tonight for tuning in, ripping the knob off, and daring to care. We're in a climax right now. This world, this country's changing hard and fast, and people are really starting to pay.
Look at me Saturday, David, when I'm filming outside BBC in London.
And these are pinhole glasses, ladies and gentlemen, before anyone says, why has he got his eyes covered so I can see the screen? And they're only £2 on eBay. So listen, James, thanks for tuning in tonight. Michael, I love you as always. Alan and the 2 snooker balls up in the top there. We're going to pop black.
The dog was better looking than you. The dog was better looking than Mo.
Oh yeah,
the day we can't share information is the day you're truly imprisoned. I'm telling you.
Amen. Thanks, gentlemen. I want to thank you all. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you.
See you later.
Take care now. See you. Thank you, everybody.
Check, give it a microphone, I make the microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could have played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp, make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic. You. El professor is in the house, let me teach you. I could defeat you with 2 hands tied and have you waking in the hospital like, who am I? And who are you? Who are they? What is this? You wouldn't believe how someone react to this shit. The mind slips, slipping, speaking in tongues. Fly ink, GVA, that's how we get it done. 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 Fly ink, GVA, that's how we get it done.
He's it up.
Chop, chop him up where he stands. Okay. 100 pounds, we just break them down. Take a couple phone calls, they gon' make them round. Let's make sure that everybody eat. So in the end, I'm making ends on everybody's street. I'm in the trenches with it both in. I'm circulating public coke until they both in. The kid that started with 100 grams. Now he can turn a full slab into 100 grams. They claim to be who they ain't.